pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, is Tom here with the Division of Fish and Wildlife?
Yeah, my name's Tom Despot. I'm with Indiana D.N.R. Fish and Wildlife. I'm here to see if the county commissioners would be able to sign a letter of support for a new visitor center, office visitor center at the Jasper-Pulaski Fish and Wildlife area. We just learned this past week that our request for the funding is going to go in to the state budget agency this coming Thursday. And so we're scrambling, trying to get community support. And we hope that if we have letters signed by county officials and other organizations, community organizations supporting this, that will help to convince the budget agency that this is something that's very needed for the community. So I don't know if you have a copy of the support letter. That's just an example. You can sign, if you agree to this, you can sign directly onto that. I can send an email copy of it where it can be put on the letterhead and that kind of stuff. So basically, we just think that this visitor center would be able to bring some additional tourism to the area. There's already quite a few visitors that come and see the sandhill crane migration every year. The facilities at the Jasper-Pulaski Wildlife Area are pretty poor right now. They're old, and what we would like to do would be to build a brand new building that's right overlooking the sandhill crane observation area and make it an interpretive kind of a building where we can tell about sandhill crane ecology and also about wildlife management throughout the history of Indiana, since Jasper-Pulaski was one of the first wildlife areas dedicated to Indiana, and it's got a long history there. So we feel it would be a really good tourist attraction as well as an educational spot for the community schools to bring field trips on and stuff. So I'm just asking for your support.
Okay, Laura has already put this on a letterhead, so I just need a motion or to give this. Favor say aye.
Aye.
Sign it here quickly, and Laura can sign it.
All right, appreciate it.
Yeah, quick question. Will
Yes.
it be like a nature / visitor center, like a nature center?
Yeah, this is going to be an office / visitor center. So it's we plan to have an interpretive area where there's interaction, displays, interactive displays, and we hope to have an interpretive specialist there to be able to give tours and answer questions and that kind of thing. So a little bit different than what our normal fish and wildlife areas offer. But I don't know if any of you have ever been down to Goose Pond Fish and Wildlife Area in southern Indiana, but it's got a big, nice office like that as well, and an interpretive center. So we felt like one in the northern part of the state would serve us well, and Jasper-Pulaski, an obvious fit for this.
When is your target construction date?
Well, that I don't know. I mean, right now we're just trying to hope to get funding for it.
Yeah.
I would imagine if we do get the funding approved by the state budget agency, then we'll begin the design phase immediately. And then it all, boils down to how quickly the design is going to be completed and then how quickly they can get it bid out for construction. But it appears that we're going to have internal D.N.R engineering design. At least that's the original thought process. We're going to have it designed internally so we can kind of really tailor it to what we feel is necessary.
Okay, Tom, I think Laura has your letter for you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Brandon?
Good morning.
Morning.
Come to you today for a couple things versus the truck. Talked about the bids. The other company had offered a supplement to their bid. I think that defeats the purpose of sealed bids. I'd like to recommend the Crossroads $1,000 more expensive, but it matched the bid specs perfectly. 100 days.
Looking at the contract for trade-in allowance, I didn't see a trade-in allowance. Trade one in.
There was no trade set up.
Okay. Okay, we would need a motion to approve this purchase. Another ambulance, cost of $258,967.
So moved.
Moved and seconded. Any other discussion? Questions for Brandon? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I will look into the trade-in allowance.
Okay,
Sure, they can't give a price for a trade-in miles on time they
right.
actually get there. And the next thing I have today is we've been looking at different ways to battle morale within. Currently, we work 48-hour shifts, 24 on, 40. And I had 4 crew members, 48-96 shifts, 48 hours on. At first, I was very much against that. Have an issue. Why do you want to double? They brought me a lot of literature on it. There's several other departments. Gave it a trial. To my surprise, it does not work for everybody. Kids, family, and things like that. Have 4 people on 96. That rotation brings a fresh crew on every morning. Morale has the best as it's been. I've been 4 days off, back feeling refreshed. Great thing about it is it's not any extra hours. Both shifts have the same amount of hours per year. And I'd just like to see adopt that, not as a permanent thing, but as a available. Something happens, fall back. That needed to be in the policy manual, how that works.
Yeah, and ultimately it would have to be changed. I don't think we have to wait for us to change it. I mean, they make a motion to change it today and give you that option, then we'll implement it the next time we do an amendment to the policy book. Although I think or do a complete overhaul.
Like to think about it. I letters from have them.
You're not forcing employees to go to this. You still have some that are on it and some that are not, correct?
They actually came to me on
Choice.
this.
Another question? this?
I don't know that we necessarily need fencing. Others. Um,
Try it, if it works out, fine, and we'll put it in the handbook.
So do we need to make a motion for a change? Yeah, so I would make that motion to change the hand. Oh, gotcha. I second it. There we go.
Okay, moved and seconded to allow Brandon to move forward with this. With this motion, we would be looking at changes in the handbook. Other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Back.
More specifically, to make it a shift option. Yeah.
Anything else, Brandon?
I have questions for me? Thank you.
Thank you.
Nathan?
Morning, everybody. I have 3 matters for you today. The first one is Resolution 2023-07, the adoption of which would authorize you to execute the economic development agreement between Pulaski County and Bottlebrush Solar LLC. And you also have copies of agreement in front of you. The county council adopted such a resolution and executed the agreement last Monday, and now it is on your. I think you know the basics of the project, the language of the agreement. Kevin drafted, reworked a little bit. It's largely the same form of the agreement that the county executed and entered into with Moss Creek Solar, and the terms are 10 years of $1 million payments from developer for a total of $10 million, beginning with the commencement of operation.
We would need a motion to approve. As Nathan stated, the council has already approved this agreement. And I would second that motion. Moved and seconded. Any other discussion? Favor say aye. Aye.
All right, thank you. Number 2, an update on the ongoing restructuring and reorganization of the C.D.C. I will be getting tweaked draft resolutions and ordinance to Kevin this week for all of the establishments of new commissions and such, with the hope that I can present those that go to the Board of Commissioners at your July 3rd meeting, and then the one that goes to the council at their July meeting, with the expectation that they will have an effective date of the 1st of October. That will give us 2.5 to 3 months to recruit members for these various commissions and get them appointed. And then the resolution that would restructure the C.D.C. would not go into effect until the 1st of January. So we have a 3-month phase-in period. So we're not asking somebody, the president of each board, take on a double role right away. And we've got some additional time for onboarding, training, getting familiar with what's going on. So like I said, hope to get those to Kevin this week so that we've got a little bit of time to get those finagled, find a finished project, get them to your hands, adopted in July, and move forward. And then the other update I have for you, unless you have any questions on the restructuring, is the housing project. I have, as I reported last week, I had to speak to one landowner. I've spoken to him. Our task force is on board with the county farm property. I have submitted a marked up draft memorandum of understanding to both Mr. Tankersley and to the town of Winamax attorney, since both entities are going to have to be involved in this project in varying ways. As soon as the attorneys have had a chance to raise any questions, concerns, make any suggestions, we'll get that moving forward. And as I have expressed in the past, our hope is that we can line up all of these approvals with the second round of the state's READY project and get that included in the Northwest Indiana Forum's READY application. Ideally, be able to move forward with some development costs covered by that state grant process, taking some of the burden off of the county, town, developers, community foundation, other entities in the capital stack. And once the redevelopment commission is in place and moving forward, we'll be able to look into tax increment financing options for additional funding support on that project without hitting anyone's cash reserve. Any questions on either of those?
It seemed like the holdup with that was to do with utilities.
Yes, and the town council, they're not entirely thrilled that they won't be able necessarily to provide the electrical service south of the road, but they would still have the water and sewer service, and those costs would be built into development costs, so it wouldn't be coming out of their cash reserves either. The various sites we considered, the various issues, there was no perfect solution, but if we want to attempt to make something happen, this is the best compromise. And it's big enough that even if there are concerns with being that close to the industrial park, a decent architect / urban planner is going to be able to do site design in such a way to mitigate some of those issues.
Anything else from Nathan? Thank you. Kevin?
Yeah, so I've got for you the road use and repair agreement with Mayapple Solar. Worked with Karen Jacobs, who's here today, for BP Light Source to come up with this agreement. It's, once again, very similar to the two previous road use agreements you signed for two other projects. We have made some tweaks to this one. In particular, this one calls for the solar company to do road stabilization on any gravel roads in the project. It's a project that's going to be out on just about half a mile to a mile off of 14 West. And I think Gary thinks that's an improvement. Gary would like to have had a carte blanche statement that they're going to repair or resurface any road that they utilize. It does not say that. It does say they will repair and resurface any road that needs it. And he's going to be involved in that process. They're going to document the road conditions prior to the start. After what we call Exhibit A is identified, which is the actual roads. In this particular project, the roads are minimal. And they will have to resurface those. Then the gravel roads that are widened and stabilized will then have a new layer of gravel put on them. I'm pretty sure Gary agrees he did not want those put to pavement because that would be more that they have to maintain going forward. But this calls for the same thing before. An independent engineer is going to examine the roads at the solar company's cost, repairs pre-construction that need to be made based on an engineer's report, and then at the end of the project to repair the roads in as good as or better condition than they were before they started. So overall, I think it's a good agreement for protecting the taxpayers and our roads.
Okay, you need a motion to approve the road usage agreement with Mayapple Solar.
I'll, myself.
And I would second the motion. Moved and seconded. Any other discussion? Favor say aye. Aye. Now we're down to approval of the claims and payroll 12.
I've reviewed the claims and payroll 12, and I would make a motion to approve as presented.
Moved and seconded. Any other discussion? Favor say aye.
Aye.
We have the minutes of the June 5th meeting.
Okay, I've reviewed those and make a motion to approve as presented.
Moved and seconded. Any other discussion? Favor say aye.
Aye.
And the last item here, we have the state public health funding resolution. Kevin, do you have that?
What is it? Sorry.
State funding health resolution.
No, I don't think we have that ready yet. Can I send that out to you?
No, I've not seen it.
No, you sent me that material that you had given me, last week, Chuck. I do not have that ready to go. That's due in September, I think, but, I apologize. We'll get to it by the next meeting.
Okay. Any other business from the board? Kevin, Laura,
Nothing for me.
community comments? Motion to adjourn.
Okay, make a motion to adjourn.
A second.
Meeting adjourned.